So everybody has been talking about ADUs recently, but what is an ADU? Hi, we're the McCaul and Mounsif Real Estate Group, and today we will be talking about ADUs. First, what does ADU stand for?
Accessory Dwelling Unit.
That can be either a detached or an attached in-law apartment or small house in your backyard.
So you used to, within a structure, be able to put a kitchen in, but only in certain towns. Some towns you need a special permit. Some towns it was really frowned upon altogether. But the real difference, not only within an existing structure, is being able to place a structure on your property.
ADU, where did that start from?
A few states have already been doing it, especially California, Washington. The whole goal of the ADU is to take the existing footprint of homes and land and be able to create more housing. And they kind of see that as a low-hanging fruit because you can now take within a structure and make a second unit. A homeowner can do that and rent it out, whereas they could not prior. They could just have a family member in the towns that would allow it. Not every town allowed it. The incentive is that a homeowner can have some income coming in. And a big difference to the whole in-law is that you can now have a freestanding structure that you build. It's going to be a maximum of 900 square feet. Some towns allow a little bit higher with a special permit. But the formula is it's half of your existing square footage. So if you have a 1,400 square foot home, you can have a 700 square foot ADU with a 900 square foot maximum. And you can have a freestanding structure that's 900 square feet like a ranch. Or you could have a multi-level, 450 on each level, with setbacks that won't be the same as you need with a home. So you can have it in a little bit tighter boundary. You're able to put a new structure on your property.
This is a state initiative by Governor Maura Healey. We are now for all single-family lots in Massachusetts. By right, a homeowner can put an ADU there as long as the homeowner has the minimum setback requirements and also the septic system requirements. Some towns like Wakefield, for example, will allow up to 1,200 square feet with special permit, and it is definitely worth checking with the town for that. So what are the benefits for homeowners to have ADUs on their property? First, there's the income because these ADU units can be rented out, so they do not need to be owner-occupied, and the homeowner who has an ADU can rent the ADU to anybody. Of course, they can have their family members over there. Parents are getting older and prices of real estate is getting higher. It does make sense sometimes instead of selling your house and then upgrading to have a bigger house that has more space for your in-laws or for your parents to just build an ADU on your current property.
Sometimes, parents are selling their homes, downsizing rather than buying a ranch for, a fair amount. If you can build an ADU that's reasonable and you can be on the property of your children and, one was talking about the benefits of just being able for childcare and the grandparents who want to spend time with their grandchildren. How convenient is that to be able to
I know, that's amazing.
walk across the way to babysit?
Let's not forget that it will increase the property value eventually if you need to sell it down the line.
It's essentially like having a multifamily. You can't create an ADU and then condo them and have them separately. They have to sell with the existing structure. But if you have a nice home and then a young ADU, as far as the value, it's really like having an outstanding 2-unit.
Now, how does the process work to have an ADU? So we said it is by right. You do need to apply for a permit, but you do not need to go through the Zoning Board of Appeals and require a special permit. If you made the requirements, setback requirements, septic requirements, you would reach out to us, hopefully, to get an ADU going, or you'd reach out to the surveyor first to get a plot plan of your land, get the architectural plans for it, and then a builder to build your ADU right there in your backyard. There is this part about financing, right? How would people finance their ADU?
Yeah, so I think there's going to be a few avenues, Nadia. One is going to be if you have a significant amount of equity in your home. So if you've owned a home for a period of time, you've been fortunate enough to pay down the existing mortgage on it, you may have quite a spread between the value of the home and what you actually owe on it. So one way would be to tap into home equity. I think a lot of lenders, especially local lenders that are working with builders and realtors, are working on some type of loan that you could either restructure with your existing hopefully, the rates continue to keep coming down, which would help this option. But you could do a financing with a construction loan and just have a mortgage that, bakes in the cost of putting the ADU in.
Right. And then you have some other options, such as a home equity line of credit. Again, if you do have some equity on your house, but there are other options. For example, if you're building an ADU for your parents to move in and you're selling your parents' house, then that will free some cash to just build the ADU. You have some options with hard money lenders, which are a little more difficult to get and also way more expensive in terms of rates. But anyway, so there are plenty of options to consider. And if you have any question, we would be more than happy to just answer questions, whether it is about financing or other things.
Yes, we would. So, Nadia, what is ADU for you?
We created this company, the ADU for you, to solve a need that homeowners in Massachusetts have, and which is to have a one point of contact or one-stop shop solution for the ADU. So if you go and do the ADU by yourself, you need to have a plot plan, a survey done. You need to have architectural plans done. You need to find a contractor or a builder who's going to build the ADU and then all the financing parts. So what the ADU for you does is it just streamlines this whole process where you'd have only one point of contact to reach out to, and then we'll take care of everything. We'll take care of putting permits, of doing the plot plan, of doing the architectural plans, working with you on what you want to have, the possibilities, and even, we didn't talk about it, but a feasibility study before you even start this process to know whether you have the actual setbacks, whether you have the option to do it or not. So what we do here at ADU for you is we offer this feasibility study for free at no cost to homeowners in Massachusetts. You only have to reach out to us and we'll go there. We'll investigate how feasible an ADU is for you, and where to place it, how would it look, how much square footage you can have, etc. So we'll address all of these concerns. That's what the ADU for you is, one-stop shop for all of your ADU needs. And we are really excited about this new endeavor. We've partnered with really the cream of the crop of builders and people to really provide our clients and customers with top service for the ADU.
The experience of the contractors that we're working with, it's somebody with a proven track record that really builds a quality product that we can get behind, or else we certainly wouldn't be doing this. We know that the end user is going to get a great experience. They're going to get great service, but ultimately, most of all, they're going to get a really solid, well-built product that we would stand behind, that our contractors stand behind.
One more thing, we do offer very competitive rates, and we tell all of our clients and customers, feel free to shop around, and we'll do our best to match the lowest rate. There is a question that we get asked actually very often, which is how much is an ADU going to cost us? And it really depends on what kind of finishes, the square footage and everything that you want to be doing over there, and the lot, if your lot is already cleared, or if there are some trees that needs to be taken down, if it's leveled, if you're going to have a basement. There are a lot of things that we want to consider before giving you a price, but we'll be talking about all of that at the feasibility study. So it is really important to keep in mind that the prices can vary wildly.
One thing I'll say to that point is, getting back to working with very experienced contractors, you have less surprises. They're going to be able to come out and evaluate, say, hey, you have X amount worth of excavating, tree work. It's not going to be a guessing game. There may be some intangibles, but you're going to have a good idea of what's involved and what the cost is from early on in the process before committing, obviously.
So this is it for the video about the ADU, but we'll be back with more tips and tricks as you're moving along through the process.
All right. We'll be back, everyone. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.